The Bel Air neighborhood on Houston's west side has seen hurricanes and experienced flooding, but never this much water in such a short amount of time.
It's always been manageable, a foot, baseboards, etc. This one kind of hit everyone really hard. Kelly,
Jenks, and other residents came home to haul away possessions which Hurricane Harvey soaked and smashed. The rain is gone, but the water, which was several feet high in many of these houses, is still around.
Everybody's out here trying to, mitigate as much damage as possible. It makes me sad. I know a lot of people lost everything.
A handful of homes in this neighborhood were spared. This one behind us here is one of them. It sits up a little bit higher. That's probably why. The residents here have a couple of bags of trash, that's all. But as we swing around here, you can see their neighbors. They were hit hard, almost every one of them. The damage is still invisible in parts of this sprawling city, which remain flooded and under mandatory evacuation. Water released from 2 reservoirs, which protect downtown Houston, could keep 20,000 homes submerged for another 2 weeks. Tens of thousands of people remain in emergency shelters. Fire department. Crews continue to look for those who may still be trapped in their homes. The cleanup across Texas is expected to cost tens of billions of dollars and last years.
It's overwhelming, really.
David Roberts lives in the Meyerland section of Houston. His home was also battered this past weekend.
I'd never seen it float a refrigerator before.
He, like many others in his neighborhood, has his work cut out for him.
That's an antique. A lot of really, really nice houses, and they're virtually all going to be gone now. It's going to completely change this whole neighborhood.
The rebuilding will last a lot longer than the storm itself. More than 1,000 housing inspectors are on the ground in the state.
Getting contractors and getting supplies and drywall and getting electricians is going to be the bottleneck here.
So I talked to
For Melissa Taldekin, the focus is on the here and now.
I have respiratory problems, and so does my daughter. And so right now, just trying to prevent that mildew and the mold spores from flying around, things taking hold.
The hurricane was just the beginning of the problems in Bel Air and Meyerwood and other hard-hit areas.
It's just been this prolonged, nightmare. It didn't stop. It just didn't stop, and it still hasn't stopped for some people, and that's what's so devastating. It's going to be tough for a lot of folks for quite some time.
Hendrick Sybrandy, CGTN, Houston.